So, where is For Honor headed when it comes to the next, let's say, 5 years, or even just the upcoming year? With the new hero basically already knocking on the door, I wanted to figure out how much more support for the game can we expect? How much more content is still in the works? To give an accurate guesstimate to this question, I did some research, starting off with the logical part. Sales. Based on some thorough investigations, the game has sold an estimated 9.2 million copies on Steam alone. Considering the current price of the game and the many discounts over the years, For Honor still made Ubisoft a lot of money. Compared to their cash cow, Rainbow Six Siege, For Honor can't really keep up. But that's beside the point. What is important though is the latest shit show Ubisoft has been performing with its latest releases. With all of them losing them a lot of money. With funds being tighter than usual, they had to milk their poor little cash cow almost completely dry, which in the process left some games unattended. Linking this little detour back to For Honor, even to this day, there are new copies being sold and players are still pre-buying heroes and certain hero skins. Considering their interests of Ubisoft as a company, and by that I mean money. How could the future of For Honor look like? The general consensus of the internet is that For Honor will have a similar reboot, just like Rainbow Six Siege, since that raked in a lot of revenue for them. Since the future is uncertain though, let me list off some pro and con arguments that speak for and against a reboot similar to Rainbow Six Siege. Even though For Honor's 10-year plan has already come to an end, there is still content actively being made. From new heroes to new maps that admittedly are just slightly altered versions of maps from different game modes. There is still a steady content flow. This speaks to the willingness of the devs to still use up resources to create new content. Let me expand this trail of thought. Even after 10 years, this game still has a healthy player count over multiple game launches. And with crossplay being a thing, finding a match should never be a problem. Compare this to games that have even more concurrent players than For Honor, like Battlefront 2 or even Team Fortress 2. Battlefront 2 is not getting any form of new content, even though the players would gobble anything new up. Like you would a leftover pizza after a day out drinking.
Oh yeah, I'm flanking it. Oh yeah.
TF2 on the other hand took the incredibly lazy route of just letting their community do all the work and taking the profits for themselves. Both of these games have a higher player count than For Honor, yet have been completely abandoned by their developers. Considering the still very sizable player count For Honor has, they will need a unique way to express their combat style during gameplay. Some players prefer being more defensive, trading speed for power. Others want to be like a goddamn bug, constantly annoying the hell out of anyone while barely even poking at their opponents, yet still coming out on top. This is another thing that For Honor has going for it. The huge roster of its heroes basically cover every playstyle. Yes, of course, some heroes are better than others, but that doesn't discredit the fact that you most certainly will be able to find a hero that perfectly fits your fighting style. Since I've already mentioned heroes, something that is really noteworthy is that even after 36 released heroes, For Honor is still able to try something new. Look at Katoon for example. Her entire kit revolves around soft feints. Everything she does is a soft feint. Looking at her pick rate in matches shows that this way of designing a hero wasn't very popular, but that's not the point I want to make. To this very day, even after so many unique heroes, Ubisoft is still creating unique heroes with unique fighting styles. The way new content is unlocked in the game also determines how well it will be received. With that being said, the way heroes are unlocked is also extremely fair. With cosmetics and heroes being able to be bought with in-game currency, it wouldn't be unreasonable to say that For Honor's monetization is one of the best in any game. It may not be the most lucrative, but it keeps the consumers happy. With the game not constantly throwing pop-ups of potential offerings into your face, unlike other Ubisoft titles, the monetization doesn't feel forced at all, making the occasional purchase of anything with real money kinda tolerable. In my opinion, these aforementioned points create a great basis for continued support of For Honor, with the main goal of course being making a lot of money. A re-release could really make Ubisoft the profit they're looking for. Sadly, glazing For Honor as this holy grail of gaming doesn't make the many problems it has go away. Just like how I talked about the things that speak for continued support of the game, a lot of very major hurdles still need addressing. To start off the negative side, I will bring up a point that has been plaguing gaming as a whole lately: cheating. For Honor's lack of anti-cheat is basically just an open door for everyone trying to use external software. The saving grace For Honor had is that it was too niche and cheating software just wasn't developed for it yet, but time has passed and here we are. With these kind of scripts and lack of any monitoring, or to be honest, banning, script kiddies will go rampant on this game, killing any fun that could be had in a normal match. This lack of any meaningful action is already unacceptable on Ubi's part, making the fundamental work that has to be put into a sequel so much higher. Let's stay on the topic of player satisfaction. The new player experience still sucks. Even with the implementation of hero-specific training, there is so much left unexplained. From how guard break vulnerability works, to how attacks work when they're external. All of this is just expected to be learned by the players in matches, which for some players just is too frustrating. But For Honor also somehow manages to not please veteran players. With the game being so old, the overall skill and technical understanding has increased to a level that couldn't even be fathomed at the game's release. Revenge and therefore ganking simply weren't meant to be optimized to this extent. After 10 years, major reworks to the basics of For Honor are just too big of a risk to take for the devs. Yet, the state things are right now just leave a lot of things to be desired. Talking about change, hero reworks are too slow. Certain heroes are in desperate need of changes and have been in that state for way too long. To Ubi's credit, some reworks really hit the mark when it comes to bringing a hero back to a modern power level. That being said, they're still far from perfect. Lawbringer is an absolute menace in any mode, and Conk is just a spinning, unblockable Beyblade. Regarding everything I just said, changes to old heroes need to happen more frequently to counteract the power creep that the latest hero releases have brought with them. And something personal really quick. I swear to God, someone on the design team of For Honor is drunk out of his damn mind. Like, have you seen the latest test runs? Auto deflect on front step for assassins, Berserker becoming God for 15 seconds, PK's first feat becoming a bleed crossbow. Like, bro, do you need help? It is debatable which route Ubi would go, but regardless of anything I just mentioned, money speaks a different language. And to our blessing, or for some, our undoing, For Honor as an IP has become too big to just take it out back and put it down. The research I have done made me very confident that the devs will not pull the plug on For Honor, giving us a few more reasons to whine at them. But with all of this being said, I have one more thing to say. Watch yourselves out there, okay?